Coming up next, I'll tell you why half of all workers are looking for a new job. And if you're tired of not sleeping, I'm going to tell you what you need to know there. And we take your calls. It all starts right now. All right, here we go. I'm coming to you live from our Ramsey Solutions studios in Nashville, and you are joining a conversation about you. Specifically who you are, what you were created to do, where you want to do it, where you can do it, and then how you get there. So this is really a show for everyone. Unless you're in your dream job, then you get an excuse. You get a get out of school card. You get the old hall pass. But you're welcome to join us. But if you're not there, if you're not sure what you want to do with your life, if you're sure, pretty good idea, but you don't know how to get there, if you know what you want to do and you know how to get there, but maybe money's holding you back, relationships holding you back, fear, doubt, pride, or if you know what you want to do, you're on your way and you just want to get there a little fast, you want to move a couple rungs of the ladder, hey, maybe 2 or 3, you want to get promoted, well, then this show is for you. So this is fun stuff. We're talking about big dreams, big mountains, and it is climbable. And here's the most important part. This isn't a show about success. This is a show about significance. Success comes with this journey because you were created to fill a unique role in your work. That means you are really valuable. You are needed. But there's a responsibility to do it because somebody is out there in this world who needs to encounter you in your work. And that's working like no one else. So we've got 7 stages. Get clear, get qualified, get connected, get started, get promoted, get the dream job, give yourself away. 7 stages. That's the climb. What stage are you in? I'll help you get to the next stage and keep you moving. 844-747-2577 is the phone number. 844-747-2577. New study from one poll shows that half of all workers in the United States are looking for a new job because of their manager, their leader. Woo! I've said this before. This is not shocking. People leave leaders. They don't leave companies. They leave leaders because even if the company's the big problem, the toxicity's in the company, they still hold their leader responsible for allowing it to happen, and they should. So let's break this down. This is really important information. Feedback was listed as the number one thing that they wanted to see more of from their boss. 53% said, I want more feedback. So you leaders out there, you just think you got a title and you come in and you just make sure that nobody's throwing rocks at the windows, everybody's putting their food up where they're supposed to put it up. You're just kind of overseeing. It's a big problem. Communication, feedback. Biggest issue that people want more from their leaders. Extra compensation was 48% and more honest communication, 48%. So if you look at feedback and more honest communication, that is a huge chunk of the survey. 65% of workers think they could do their job a lot more effectively if they just had a better leader. Duh. That's true. Let's keep going here. There's some more in here I want to get to. If I can get these pages apart here. Let's see if I can get to it here. This one key point here. Top qualities that they appreciate in a leader. Positive attitude, communication skills, and organization skills. Those are the top 3 factors. All right, so back to the big crux of this. What does this mean? If you are somebody who feels as though you can't be your best in your work because of your leader, it's not wrong to feel that, and that's what the survey shows. 53% are there. But here's the thing. Just because you feel that way doesn't mean that's the truth. And so there's a cautionary tale here. First of all, I believe this is a huge problem. Okay, huge problem. The top 2 reasons why people aren't really engaged at work, which is what I'm about, I want you fully loving your work and the results of your work, and that way you're engaged. But the reason that people aren't engaged, top 2 reasons, number 1 is it's not in their sweet spot. They don't have any juice, as I like to say. They don't love the work, and the results of their work doesn't make their heart feel full. That's the number 1 reason. But the second reason is leadership. Whether it be several levels above them, which then trickles down, or their direct leader, otherwise known as the manager. That's the term people use most. And so the details bear this out. But here's my point. Be courageous enough to respectfully and humbly do some digging with your colleagues, not gossiping, some digging. Hey, do you see the leader this way? Do you experience this? And then once you get some verification on that, shut your mouth and don't trash the leader. Go to the leader and respectfully and humbly maybe bring it up if you feel like you can. Some leaders just don't have anybody who will shoot them straight. Give them a chance. Once you give them the chance to make it right, if they don't, then we know we did everything we can. It's time to move on. So, interesting stuff. More stuff coming out of that study I'm going to be sharing in the days ahead, because one of the things that I'm going to be more intentional to do on this show is not just answer your calls, but I want to help teach and help you see trends and see things that you can be asking about, looking for, to find out if it really is a good place. Because here's the reality. You go to a place with really great leadership and healthy leadership, but you're going to have a healthy culture. And if you're in a healthy culture, I can tell you right now, you're going to love being there, even if you're not in your sweet spot yet, but you're working towards that. So I want to give you the warning signs, things to look for, because it is easy to see if you know what you're looking for. So I'm going to be doing more and more of that this year, and then I'll continue to do that. 844-747-2577 coming up. We've got a couple Momentum Monday updates from you, the people. ask@kencoleman.com is the email address, or you can reach out to me on Instagram @KenColeman or here in the YouTube chat room. And so we got people watching. I'm just going to say hey right now to the folks in the chat room. And that's a fun way to engage. Anna says, hey, Ken, one day I will call you. God willing. I have to go to my toxic work, but I appreciate what you do and would love your help. Now, Anna, why in the world would you wait? I don't see any evidence in the chat room comment here as to why you would wait. One day I'll call you, she says. Anna, what are you waiting on? I mean, what's keeping you? It's a toll-free number. 844-747-2577. I think you need to call in sooner than later. How about that? A little positive encouragement there. Come on, Anna, give me a call. Shouldn't keep going into that toxic workplace. 844-747-2577 is the number. Let's go to Huntsville, Alabama, where we started off with Josh. Josh, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken, thanks for taking my call.
You bet. What's up, dude?
I was calling to ask how married couples find a common ground on how and when to pursue career goals.
Yeah.
So my wife and I have been together for 9 years, and we have 3 children, all under the age of 5.
Oh, boy.
I am in my dream career. I'm passionate about my work. I am rewarded with impacting others' lives and making a difference in the community. I love my company. I'm pleased with the leadership and culture. To make it even better, I'm paid competitively for my position, compared to some similar positions in the region. My wife is also happy with her career. She also is rewarded with making, positive impacts on people's lives, and her work-life balance is excellent. In fact, she works 4 days a week and can spend rewarding time with our children. So, and she makes a very nice salary as well.
Wow. Are you sure you called the right show? Sounds like you're in really great shape.
Well, we really are. We're very blessed. But a position recently opened up in my company's corporate headquarters that will allow me to advance and climb the ladder. Mm-hmm. And the issue is we would have to move clear across the country and my wife would have to find a new position, and she is afraid she would be forced to work more hours and in a more stressful environment. And she worries that she would lose time with our children, and she would have to, just work more. But she thoroughly enjoys her position here. So I am a firm believer of happy wife, happy life. So my question to you is, do I shelve my development plan of climbing the corporate ladder for peace at home? How do married couples compromise these life choices?
Well, the way you compromise on these things is you communicate. So I'm just going to give you the high-level answer. You guys have got to communicate. And I think you have. I'm not saying that because I don't think you have, but I think you have to keep communicating. And each time you communicate on this issue, I think you got to go deeper. Let's say you had that first conversation and you talked about just the sheer logistics, which is what you listed out. She's like, I like my work now. I don't know if I can find something on the other side of the country where I only work 4 days a week, and then that's going to affect the kids and me and my heart and all things. She's listing all the things out, and then you got to go deeper though. So the next conversation is, I understand that, and I only want to do what's right. I want to do what's right for all of us. So what would make those decisions easier? And you begin to just keep going deeper. Very respectful and very, very interested in her emotions. As a husband, as a dude, sometimes we guys, we're always trying to come up with the solution instead of listening and feeling what she's feeling, doing your best to go, okay, my wife she's for me. She wants me to win. But this particular issue, boy, it's causing her to be very fearful or very confused. Really get in tune with that instead of always just trying to come up with the pros and cons. I think that's the approach right now. So let me step back now and say that there's got to be the relational component first and foremost, and then the financial component. And it feels like the financial component is not as big of an issue as what I would call the relational component with the kids. And that she's got a really ideal scenario right now. So where I'm sitting looking at this is what needs to be true. And you ask her what needs to be true and let her just talk through it. Don't try to interrupt. Don't try to interject and here's some ideas. Just listen. Because I suspect that if you told her, hey, babe, we can get you a job doing the exact same thing and only working 4 days a week, I suspect it'd be close to a no-brainer. Is that true or false?
True, yeah.
Well, that's huge. What's the financial impact? What if she doesn't get a job making as much as she's making now?
We would certainly have to put our baby steps on hold. So we just completed baby step 3.
Good for you.
We're trying to save up for college for the kids and pay off our home right now.
How much of a bump? How much of a bump are you going to get with this promotion?
I haven't gotten an offer just yet. I'm in the final stages of interviewing.
Okay, well that's part of it. So that's one thing. So once you get a financial offer, then we go, okay, and so just for round numbers, just to make the example easy, let's say you're getting a $30,000 to $50,000. Let's say you're getting $50,000 increase, okay? So if you get 50, then you go, okay, well, now that helps us tremendously. What does she make, by the way?
She makes $95K a year.
And what do you make?
I make $75.
Oh, 75. Oh, mama's bringing home more bacon than you. All right.
Yeah, yes, sir. Sugar mama.
Yeah. What do you think your bump might be? You have any kind of a guess?
I'm thinking an additional $20K a year.
All right, so that would get you to 95. And then what kind of work does she do?
She's a pharmacist.
Is it crazy abnormal that she works 4 days a week as a pharmacist?
It is, yeah. Uh-huh. She's in a very private medical clinic rather than a kind of a box store pharmacy. So she's meeting with patients on a regular basis rather than filling prescriptions.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. I wish I could give you a straight answer, but I gave you as much as I can give you because this is a husband-wife conversation, and it's listening to all of her emotions first, then going deeper and deeper and asking her what would need to be true to make those emotions better.
Right.
And then once she shares that, which I don't think she's going to share anything that maybe she already shared. So if she shared everything at this point, then you start going, okay, we're gonna see if we can make that happen. And so before you accept, I'd start looking right now. I'd start having her look at what all the pharmacy opportunities are in that area. You know the area. I would also tell your current leaders, like, hey, I'm really interested in doing this. I'm going to need as much time as possible. This is if they offer as much time as possible to consider this, so that I can do some research in the area and see if we can get something in my, that really is a good fit for my wife. But this is tough because she loves being a pharmacist and the kids are little and she likes that rhythm. So, the only thing I'd look at is your increased income is also temporary. My guess is you'll be able to continue to grow financially. Is that right?
That is correct. Yes, sir.
Well, then you guys need to look at childcare and what you would do there, and if that make her feel better, than what you already do. But you guys just have to talk through the logistics of this, and I think you got to be okay saying you got to listen to her first, and you may have already done this. At which point you got to go, hey, here's my emotions. I just want you to know I really want to go for this, and here's where I think this helps us down the road. Cast vision for why you want to take it. And then once you do that, you two sit there and you look at each other and you go, what do we want to do? And that's all you can do. I think this is going to work out for you guys. I really do. But this is about multiple conversations. And every time you can't just recircle the same conversation. You got to go deeper and deeper and deeper. And just allowing her to share her emotions, what would make those emotions differently, what facts need to be true, and see what you can do on those facts. See what she digs into. Say, hey, you know what? We're going to go all in and see if we can make these circumstances come true in this new opportunity. And if they come true, slam dunk. If they don't, we're willing to pass on this particular situation, whatever it is. But you guys got to both be in concert on that. 844-747-2577. Will is in Knoxville, Tennessee. Will, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Mr. Coleman, how are you doing today?
I am living the dream, Will. How can I help?
So, I'm a senior in college this year. I'll graduate here, I guess, next month or in a couple months.
Good.
And I will be, or recently I got accepted in med school, so I'll be starting med school this fall, or I guess August, July, whenever. And so I'm looking forward to that. Overall, I feel like I have kind of my career trajectory and what I want to do figured out.
Which is? Tell us all.
So ideally at this point, or of course being a doctor with going to med school, as far as the specialty, I'm leaning most towards surgery at this point, wanting to be a surgeon. But everybody says you go into med school thinking you want one thing and end up in something different. So
sure.
I'm very open to wherever God's plan takes me. But at this point, surgery seems the most interesting from my point of view.
Great.
Where I am right now. So I had only heard of you a couple months ago, but I've been listening to your show since about the proximity principle. But thankfully, before that, I'd already shadowed several doctors, including surgeons, and now I work at one of the local hospitals. And each day, I'm at work. I enjoy seeing the different things, seeing the different doctors doing their thing, and I just struggle with, I'm excited about that and want to do that, but I don't think that I'm smart enough or good enough to be in that role, or will have that responsibility here, in several years where I'm actually having to make those big decisions. I just don't think I'm smart enough.
What evidence do you have that says you're not smart enough?
No evidence. And so that's what some other people have said, or they'll just say, oh, you are, or that God wouldn't have opened up these doors for me if I wasn't ready and couldn't step into them. But it's just kind of, in the back of my mind, or I'll see some of my classmates who I see their accomplishments they've had so far, or all the stuff they know, and I just feel like I don't know all that stuff, or I'm not ready.
Have you always been a good student?
Yes, sir. So high school, or up till college, I'd never gotten anything other than an A. College, I've had grades kind of all over the board because I'm majoring in biomedical engineering, so I took some harsh grades in some classes, but overall, a decent student, I guess.
No, whatever. You're a great student. You're a very smart guy. If I interviewed everybody that knows you, they'd say that Will is a super, super smart guy. True or false?
I guess more people would probably say that than not, but so
what?
are, all the other people going to med school.
Wait a second. Wait. I'm not talking about all the other people. That's your problem, Will. You know what your problem is? You're too busy comparing yourself to everybody else.
Okay. So how should I resolve that?
Stop comparing yourself to everybody else. That literally means stop looking at everybody else. Stop paying attention to everybody else. If I was paying attention to every other radio talk show host ratings and how many stations they were on and how much money they made, or every other author out there and how many books they sold, my mind would be a mess. Let me ask you this, Will. Am I supposed to be focusing on other YouTube hosts or SiriusXM hosts or radio syndicated hosts or other best-selling authors? Or am I supposed to be focused on competing against those people? Or should I be focused on helping the Wills of the world? You tell me.
I don't think you should compare to others because you seem like you found your role in helping people.
Well, thank you very much, Will. You're right.
Yes, sir. So
stop looking at everybody else.
Then.
Compare yourself to the you. Hold on, I'm not done preaching, Will.
Okay.
You already told me what's going on. I'm telling you what you need to do. Now listen, the only person that you compare yourself to is the you of yesterday. So tomorrow, when you get up, you can compare your day and your performance to the day before.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
Okay.
Did you do your best in med school? Well, this is an internal conversation. You can talk to yourself in the car. I don't care. Will,
okay.
Did I do better today than I did yesterday? Now, that question, I'm fine with that. But that's all you compare yourself to. Did you study as hard? Were you as open-minded and inquisitive on your rounds in med school today as you could have been? And if the answer is no, then tomorrow I'm going to be better at paying attention in class. I'm going to be better in the lab. I'm going to be better on the rounds. I'm going to ask more questions of that doctor who's instructing. That is how you compare yourself. You compare yourself to the you of yesterday. That's it. Comparison is a cancer, Will, but I'm not getting on you. I'm just getting in your face so that you realize that this is the type of thing that if you don't get control of, your mind will take over control of you. It'll turn into anxiety and insecurity, and it already kind of has, but it'll overtake you, and you will end up flaming out and not being the doctor.
That.
Yeah, listen, Will, you're a smart guy. You know you are. So you know you can get through medical school, and you know you could be a good doctor. Yes or no?
I do believe it. Inside.
All right. Good. So stop trying to be better than the other students in your class. Stop trying to compare yourself to anybody else and be the doctor that you were put on this planet to be. Period. End of statement. And whenever you start to feel yourself comparing yourself, just go, nope, that's not what I am. I'm Will. I'm not that person. I got to be me. I got to be the best version of me. And then I just let go of the rest of that garbage. 844-747-2577. Quick break. When we come back, we got some Momentum Monday updates. I got some new data on sleep and how important it is and how we're screwing it up and how it affects us. All of that coming right up. This is the Ken Coleman Show.
We were drawn to Christian Healthcare Ministries because we both had young families and we wanted to have more children. And we had also just started a real estate company and needed to find healthcare coverage that would meet our needs.
We were attracted to CHM because of its low monthly costs and the ability to negotiate medical costs down.
Established in 1981 and accredited by the Better Business Bureau, CHM is here to meet the needs of your growing family or small business. Check us out at chministries.org.
We absolutely believe in it.
Let's talk about the process of getting that job you want. Every day here on the show, we're talking to people who want to work on purpose. But searching and applying can be stressful, which is why I'm very excited to announce we're working with ZipRecruiter. They're going to match you with jobs that fit what you're looking for and help companies find you. They're so good at this, it's no surprise that they're the #1 job site in the U.S. So sign up for free on ZipRecruiter today and experience the better way to find a job. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/Ken right now to sign up free and put ZipRecruiter to work for you. Nice bump there, Joe. That gives me a little bit of juice. You know what I mean? I almost started moving the shoulders but I thought, well, this is on camera. And Nathan has told me, Nathan, the director, is kind of like Will Smith's character in Hitch, where he tells Kevin James, he's like, you're gonna go to this thing, you're going to a club with this girl, and he goes, let me just say, he's like, everything needs to be right here. Just keep it right in here. And see, even that right there, as I see it, I go, that's too much. It's too much. I can just see all three of my kids, Madison agrees. So, but I like the bump nonetheless, Joe. Welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show. We're having way too much fun. 844-747-2577 is the phone number. Good to see everybody watching here on YouTube. If you watch us live every day at 12 Eastern Time, you can engage in the chat room and see what's going on in here. Anything here? Let's see. Imposter. Jonathan says, imposter syndrome is so real, especially with so many successful people out there on social media. It can be hard to keep your world small to yourself. Oh, Jonathan. All right. Yeah. Imposter syndrome is just this new thing that they're calling doubt and insecurity. It's not a syndrome. It's just good old fashioned doubt. But Jonathan, let me encourage you here in the chat room, stop looking at social media. If you're too busy looking at everybody else and their milestones and just looking at their successes that makes you feel like you're not doing enough, I got news for you. Turn it off. Stop looking at it. It's just not good. 844-747-2577. All right, we do this thing on Mondays where I like to read updates from you, the people. These are emails you can send to ask@kencoleman.com, or you can comment on my Instagram post. You can DM me at Ken Coleman, and you can put it in the chat room here on our YouTube channel. So let's do a little Momentum Monday. All right, Lindsay Lynn's 7, also a fantastic username, I might add, says, hey, Ken, I just landed a new job that's going to take my career to the next level. I start next week. Woohoo! Way to go, Lindsay. Let's get a little applause, Joe. Can we clap for her? Fantastic. Everybody's cheering for you, Lindsay. Oh, boy. How about this? Boyd says, hey, Ken, I'm 15, and I just got into HVAC school. What? I love that. I'd love to talk to Boyd's parents. I'd love to hear that story. I'd love to talk to Boyd. Where did this come from? Do we know, Madison, the producer? YouTube. All right. Boyd, if you're watching today's show, he's probably in school. But I love that. Maybe he's not in school. Come on, Boyd. Boy, I'm about to freak some parents out right now, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. Okay? Because this is my kind of controversy. You're going to be controversial. This is how I want to be controversial. If I'm Boyd's parents and he's 15 and he just got into HVAC school and he's going, this is what I want to do. Okay, so this isn't just some whim for Boyd. Let's say that Boyd knows that he knows that he knows. He's dad's an HVAC pro, whatever, who knows. But Boyd knows he wants to do that. I'm going, all right, Boyd, you're done with regular school. I know, I just want to let that sit for a second. All the parents freak out. I'm going, Boyd, well, get the GED. Let's go get your GED, get your little high school thingy, whatever that is. I want Boyd going all in. And while he's not in HVAC school, he's working part-time or he's apprenticing for a local HVAC company. That's what I'm doing if Boyd's my kid. Why? Why in the world does Boyd need to be in, what, is he 15? So that's my son. He's 9 here. Why does he need to be in freshman biology right now? Anybody? That's what I thought. Why would Boyd need to be in freshman biology or any other freshman class if he's going to go to HVAC school and that's what he wants to do at 15? Why? Why does he need that? Well, Ken, I just think that education is so important. So do I. He's going to HVAC school. That's education. Here's the deal. Rewind 150 years ago in America. It would not be outrageous that a 15-year-old is no longer in school and is apprenticing or doing something. It's not. So why is it now? Because education and the way we do it has become a system, and it's got a lot of politics around it. Oh, there it is. I went and did it. Let's see here. Let's do one more. Here's another youngster. The future is bright. Emily says, thanks to taking Foundations in Personal Finance, that's our Ramsey Solutions education curriculum, I'll be graduating debt-free with my associates next month. Way to go, Emily. So there you go. What am I looking at in here? Everybody's backing me up here in the chat room. I'm getting some amens. Yeah. Whoop, whoop. Got a couple whoop, whoops. It's never bad when you get one of those. Unicorn formaggi or formaggi. You never know how to say that one. Is it a J or a G? I don't know. If the kiddo wants to do it, let him do it. I agree. On the social media comment, views from below. As you receive blessings and progress, everyone around you wants to take you out and prevent you from progressing or slow you down. I'm not talking social media. I'm talking in person. Whoa. You need to start getting around some good people. I like that. Mercy received. HVAC pays big money. You bet. And here's the thing about a 15-year-old getting in that early. There's a good chance that 15-year-old's going to eventually be a business owner, maybe in their early to mid-20s, and that's creating jobs. So we parents have got to get over this status garbage that if your kid doesn't go right from high school into college, that your kid's a failure and thus you as a parent are a failure. That's what's driving all this stuff, and it's marketing. I got news for you. If you're new to this program, college and higher ed is not the only way to success. In some fields it is, but I digress. All right, hey, if you're watching the program right now, give us a thumbs up every time you watch. Subscribe if you have it. It helps us grow on YouTube. And love our folks watching live. All right. Sleep. So I'm going to be covering this issue as well. I'm going to be covering a lot of stuff that leads to your peak performance. And here's why. Let's say you're in your sweet spot. Okay, and I define that as you're using your talent, what you do best, to do work you love, passion, to produce results that matter deeply to you, mission. You can be in your sweet spot, and if you're not getting sleep, you will eventually break down. That's just one thing. Eating right, exercise, the whole 9 yards. But let me just show you where we are in this country. A new study reveals that less than 1 in 10 people, 8%, feel fully rested after a night's sleep. Shouldn't say good night's sleep. After a night's sleep. 8%! On average, Americans only get 5 hours of sleep every night. 5 hours. Well, let me just break this down for you. If you are awake 17 hours out of a day, so there's 24 hours in a day, and if you are awake 17 of those hours, so that means you're getting 7 hours of sleep a night. Are you aware that you have the physical, cognitive skills of someone who is legally impaired by alcohol? Okay? Doesn't mean you're drunk, doesn't mean you can't operate a vehicle, but you are impaired. That's on 7 hours of sleep. Americans who say they don't get enough sleep, by a tune of 68%, say that stress is keeping them awake. Joe, when you do work you love in your sweet spot, you're not so stressed.
Exactly. You're tired, but you're not stressed.
Well, you're not even that tired. You're going to have no problem going to sleep at night, right? You're tired physically, but you're going to lay your head down and you're gone. I know I do.
Oh, yeah.
But in my new book, I open up and I get real about what I was going through back in Atlanta. 2:30 in the morning. I'm watching that guy with the knives, you know. The knives are so sharp he could cut through all these cables. And I'm going, I can't believe I'm watching this clown. And then I realized, well, he's happy doing what he loves. Why am I not? Look, stress, too much work, toxic environment. 68% of people are saying they're not able to go to sleep because of that. 61% have no problem agreeing that political and pandemic news, in other words, negative news, is causing them to lose sleep. Well, of course it is. If you watch for a couple hours a night and you feel like the sky's falling, yeah, I'd have a hard time going to sleep too. But can I tell you, I had no problem sleeping during the pandemic. Why? I'm just not worried. I'm just not. And I got to tell you something. Most of you people don't realize that these news producers, these anchors, these reporters, they put a little extra drama on these reports because they know if it's really negative and scary, you won't move your eyes from the screen. You know? They just do. It's crazy. Even the weather channels turn into this, right? Storm system out in the Atlantic. Everyone evacuate! Why? There's a huge storm out there. Okay. Do we know where it's going to hit? No, but it's going to be scary. Listen, I don't ever have the news on in my house because I've got a preteen and 2 teens. I got enough going on. But if you just let a kid walk through the living room with the news on, no wonder kids have anxiety. They're 1 second from death and doom every time the news is on. You know I'm right, folks. And yet you get sucked in by it. What's next? I got to wear a Darth Vader helmet every time it's flu season?
It's coming.
Everybody's scared. When I was a kid, I'm looking out here in the lobby. I see a couple young guys out here. Let me tell you something. When I was a kid, we didn't even wear bike helmets. I can hear some of you Xers and Zs going, yeah, it's because you all were a bunch of idiots. No. We didn't have any more head injuries than you do. And you know what? When I fell off my bike and skinned my knee, I wasn't laid up for a day. My dad got some Bactine and sprayed it on there. It was like liquid fire going into my leg. And he was like, get back up on the bike. Everybody's scared. No wonder we can't sleep. Stop watching the news. Certainly before bed. Yikes. Here's one other item. This is really important. I just went off on a little rant. Stay focused here. 49% of people believe their emotional health would improve if they got better quality sleep. Well, of course. One of the things I say to my kids, even the teenage boys, they hate this. I've never stopped saying it, and they're grumpy. They come downstairs in the morning. What's going on, Mr. Cranky Pants? Well, here's the deal. We're all cranky when we're tired. Americans believe by a tune of 44% that their mental health would get better with more sleep, concentration, 43%, and even their appetite would improve. Well, of course it would. If you're getting a good night's sleep, you can have a little celery and hummus as opposed to the Snickers bar. I'm not hating on Snickers, by the way. Turns out it actually does satisfy. But I don't need all the sugar. So, why do I share that? Because I think a lot of men and women who are on the journey to purpose, what we talk about here on this show, and you're getting after it. You're trying to launch that side hustle. You're trying to run that small business. You're trying to do some training on the side while you're working in the day job, and you're exhausted physically, mentally, and emotionally. And I'm saying that a huge part of your ability to perform at a peak level, to get where you want to go, has to do with your sleep. And I would start taking your sleep very seriously. More on that in the days ahead. So I hope you start to take your sleep seriously. You can't keep doing it. You just can't. Some of you in a leadership position, and you're getting some reviews where you're biting people's head off, I wonder how good a sleep you're getting. Some of you are going, Ken, I don't think I can take those extra night classes to get where I want to go because I'm so tired, because you're not getting the sleep that you need. Here's the great news about Netflix and Amazon Prime. All those shows are still there. Less TV, less negative news, less sugar, more exercise, going to bed earlier. We've got to start taking our sleep very, very seriously. All right, enough for that lesson, Joe. Time is almost up. But before I let you go, I want you to remember that you matter and you do have what it takes. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.